Well, hello guys, welcome back to yet another review. What I'm talking about today is for you guys that are thinking about buying the new Camaro ZL1 1LE. These are things that you probably want to think about twice before buying the vehicle. Now, the number one reason you guys might want to think twice about buying this vehicle is how the car rides. Now, I've posted similar videos to this in the past and I've gotten a lot of flack for it, but I'm just being honest with you. This car rides fairly rough and is not for everybody. So I think the number one thing that you guys should think about before you buy this vehicle is how does a car ride, okay? This car has a very, very stiff suspension. It is a racing car suspension, and a lot of you guys are going to have trouble with it. So the number one thing I would talk about is suspension. Make sure you test drive the car. See if you like it. A lot of you guys, I would say probably 8 out of 10 of you guys, this is not going to be for you. You're going to like the car, you're not going to like the way it rides. I personally feel the car rides fantastic, which brings up number 2. So a couple of things I did to this car to make it feel better is there's a couple of things regarding the PSI within the tires. This car, not only does it come with a suspension that is again dynamic specific for race, it comes with slicks. Now these slicks are literally slicks the way you would imagine like a car on the track. And so what I did, one of the first things I did to the car was change the tires out to some Michelin 4S Super Sports, and it dynamically changed the car the way it felt, the way it rode on the street. The other thing that, now it's not only about getting tires, is about adjusting the PSI within the tires. So I'm running about 30 PSI on the tires all the way around, and it makes a significant difference in the ride quality. So what does that mean? If you're planning on getting this car, if you are taking it to the track a lot, you probably want to keep the stock tires. If you're planning on daily driving the car, you probably want to change the tires. Number 3, what is it about this car that you should also think about? And to be fair, this one is not in particular just to this car. It's any car with this color. This is mosaic black, and so what's cool about the car is when you drive it in the sun, it's a fantastic, almost like glitter inside the paint, which makes the car look fantastic. However, having a black car, guys, is literally a second job. I'm not even joking. So number 3, maybe pick a different color. Number 4, the stock exhaust on this car. Many people on YouTube have decided to change the stock exhaust to maybe Corsa. I've thought about doing it, and I might end up doing it. I'm just not sure. So one thing you guys should know specifically to the ZL1 1LE, and maybe it's across the board for every ZL1, the exhaust tone on this car is nice, but I do believe it's not enough. I've seen some YouTube videos on the new GT500 and the exhaust sounds fantastic. That's not the same for this car. Most of you guys are probably going to upgrade it. So number 4, the exhaust. Upgrade it? Probably. Just depends on who you are and what you like. All right, what's another one? What is another one that we can say that you might not know? And again, if you're thinking about purchasing this car, things you should know. This wing. This wing is really high. What's crazy about it is if you get a standard ZL1 on your rear view mirror, they actually built in a camera that's out here on the back, and you can see your entire view in the back. On the ZL1 1LE, they didn't do that. This is your standard rear view mirror without that camera. What does that mean is you have poor visibility on the rear, and on top of that, you have this big ass wing that will block some of that view. So if you're thinking about buying this car again, something else to take into consideration, the big wing. All right guys, so now we're in the car. What is the next thing you should be aware of? So one thing that the ZL1 comes with that the standard SS doesn't come with is that Alcantara steering wheel. It will get dirty. You need to be aware of that. There isn't an option to just get a regular leather wrap steering wheel. Again, this is a racing car. So what does that mean is you're probably gonna wanna buy some type of product that can help you clean that steering wheel. I've cleaned it twice and the car only has about 5,000 miles on it. So again, make sure you're aware that don't be wearing and putting your sweaty ass hands on those steering wheels, because next thing you know, it's gonna look super flush, almost leather-like, and yet it's not leather, it's suede. So maintenance on that steering wheel. Right, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is this charger in the rear. Most Camaro SS's after I think 2016 came with this rear charger. It's hard to see because of poor lighting. However, it is pretty much worthless. Unless you have an iPhone, maybe first gen or second gen, you might be able to fit it there. But I'm not sure if the first or second gen on the iPhone came with the wireless capability. So I have an 8 Plus iPhone. What does that mean is if I put it on there, it'll charge it, but it's too big for the little bucket. It flies off. The next thing I wanted to share with you guys is there's a reason why I have my garage door opener there. Why? The Camaro ZL1 does not come with a standard garage door opener. So for you guys that park your car in the garage like I do, you're gonna have to use your old school garage door opener because one is not included in the ZL1. The next thing I want to talk about is this front chin. If you guys have driveways like I do, you're gonna have to take it at an angle. Even if you take the car as an angle, you still might brush out the bottom part. So be aware that this car rides low. And so there's gonna be times where you might actually brush into it. So just be careful, guys. Other thing I wanna talk about the car is you're not buying this car if you're worried about gas. If you're worried about gas, you buy a Volt. I'm not worried about gas. I have a Volt so I can protect my ride. Again, if you are worried about gas, do not buy a Camaro ZL1 1LE. Bad idea. The next thing I want to talk about is these seats. They're fantastic, but they have big bolsters here. So when you're sitting down, you want to come in at an angle because over time, this will go ahead and scuff out. So be smart with that. However, that's not the big thing with the seat. These are Recaros. What's crazy about these seats is I was cleaning them and look at this right here. I mean, literally this lifts up right here. It's kind of like, I don't know, like it's not part of it. It's almost like it's a piece of the Recaro that's kind of clamped on it, but it's kind of on its own little, in its own little world there. But regardless, the seat looks great and it works for what it's designed. So there you go, guys. These are just some tips around the Camaro ZL1 1LE. And of course, I'm sure this is not in particular to the Camaro ZL1 1LE. ZL1 has some very similar characteristics. The biggest difference that you guys are going to notice between the ZL1 and the ZL1LE is some of the things I just talked about. The type of tires and the type of suspension. And also the way the car handles. This car is very straight. I mean, wherever you put it, it goes. So those are some things you will notice. How about we turn it on real quick and see how she sounds. Yeah, buddy. Alright guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. I think today is the 22nd. And let me turn her on real quick. Well, we can turn it on and off with the key, something I probably missed. But it's Thanksgiving, guys. It's an important holiday to spend with the family. Be smart, take care of yourself, easy on the drinking. Try and enjoy time with the family, and I'll see you guys until next time. Peace.